everyone, and welcome to Wandering Soul Yoga. I'm your instructor, Sarah. Today we have a flow that's specific for travel. So whether you're just coming back from a trip or just about to embark on one, this is the perfect flow for you. I'd like you, if you have one, to grab a bolster or maybe a couple pillows, as we'll be doing a really juicy hip opener in our sequence. When you're ready, come to a seat on your mat. We'll take just a moment to settle here in our cross-legged seat. Notice which foot you have in front. That's probably your leg that you always put in front, so maybe try the opposite leg. For me, my right leg is less often in front. Can switch things up. Travel can be a stressful experience. Often we don't have a lot of control about what everyone around us does. And so much of yoga is acknowledging what we can control. Often that can be something as simple as the breath, as our approach to mentally to a given moment. So you know you can use yoga on and off the mat. This is just a reminder of that kind of inner peace that you have within you that you can tap back in if things get squirrely. When you're ready, close your eyes. Draw your shoulder blades up, back, and down along the back. Palms of the hands ground you face down on the thighs. We'll take 3 breaths all together. So start by exhaling your air. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Once more, even deeper breath this time. Big inhale through your nose. And this time, exhale out your nose. Notice if you need to draw your shoulder blades back and down along the back, if they've moved or migrated at all in the course of our breath together. Before you open your eyes, take a moment to set your intention for your journey or for the trip ahead of you, or maybe how you incorporate the favorite parts about your trip now that you're back home. And once you've set that intention, allow the eyes to flutter open. We'll come into child's pose. If you have your bolster or your pillows, have them accessible, but we won't need them just quite yet. Child's pose, knees wide, feet, toes to touch, arms extend long. Maybe head comes to a block or to the floor. You can press into both hands or even tension on the fingertips if you'd like to have more of an active engagement in the shoulders and the back here. Or if you'd like to just release into the floor, lower your forearms, lower your elbows onto the mat. Either is good, just depends on your energy level right now. Tap in, touch in, and see how you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling just exhausted and tired, and all you want to do is a little movement before you go to bed. Or maybe you have a whole day ahead of you and you need to energize the body for the rest of your day. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Feel the belly rise. Feel the belly lift in between the legs. Exhale. That's 2. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. From child's pose, move into frog. This is why we have our bolster. I'll give you a few really great options. The first is half frog. So to start, you lower all the way onto your belly. And if you're doing half frog, take one leg out to 90 degrees. So imagine the thigh and the shin make a 90-degree angle. Flex your foot, half frog, and you can be down on one cheek if you'd like. Hands can be to cactus, arms. You can also be up on the forearms. Just notice which stretch you prefer and feels best in your low back and your hips. Option 1. Our second option is, we'll come out. There's no truly graceful way to get out of frog, just slowly and carefully. Option 2 is, if you have a bolster, take the bolster so that it's halfway along the length of the mat. I like to face the long edge of my mat because I have both knees then padded. You can also take a blanket or blankets under both your knees to support them. So imagine the half frog we did on the left side just now. We open both knees and we fold over our bolster. Forearms can rest on the mat. Maybe you take your head to one side or the other. This is option 2. Option 3 is, you've likely guessed, no bolster. So you can feel it out. You can have your bolster within arm's reach. If you decide once you get into frog that it makes you feel panicky, that happens for me sometimes. If you feel that sensation, back out of it a bit, bring your bolster into the picture, and lower back down. So if you're trying this full version of the posture, lower down maybe on the forearms. If you find that your hips touch, good job. Mine don't. So just see where you are, meet yourself where you are, and notice what the mind has to say about the posture you've chosen. No judgment, just awareness. We'll be here for 5 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come back up. If you were on the left side for half frog, take a moment to switch sides. We'll just sit back on our heels, and we'll go back into it and do another variation. So if you're on the left side in half frog, switch to your right. If you had a bolster and want to try without, or vice versa, take a moment to set up. I think I'll use my bolster this time. And when you're ready, setting back up for frog, maybe pad the knees and lower down. Take your head to the opposite side if it was twisted or turned one way or the other. Another 5 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. Exhale. 4. Final breath. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly, gently, make your way up, back onto hands and knees. Move your bolster out of your way. We won't be needing it again for practice. And then lower down onto your belly. So we're on the length of our mat again. Arms long. Palms face up to the ceiling. Draw toes together at the back of the mat. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Inhale, lift shoulders, draw shoulder blades together on the back. Lift feet, knees, hands. Inhale. Exhale, 1. We'll do 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Take the head down to the mat. Windshield wiper your feet to one side and the other. Legs long. Right arm extends long to T. Tent up onto the left fingertips. Set up for a nice juicy shoulder stretch. So when you're ready, roll onto your right shoulder or arm. And you can take your left toes back behind you. They can just gently touch down, maybe the whole foot touches down. An extra little level of stability here in this posture. That right leg is extended long along the long edge of your mat. Flex the foot, engage your quad. Also an option if you'd like that extended right arm. If you want a little more deepening into the shoulder stretch, you can roll back out of it a little bit, back onto your belly. Bend your right arm into cactus shape, and then roll back. Notice when you do that, if there's more intensity in the shoulder stretch, if there's any pain, move back to the first version. We don't want any pain in our shoulders. But whatever version you've chosen, draw your shoulder blade on your back. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, roll onto your belly. Other side. Left arm long to T. Right fingertips maybe tent on the mat or tent off the side of the mat. And roll onto your left side this time. Right toes can come down, maybe just barely touching, or maybe the whole foot touches down to the mat. If you'd like, once you try the extended arm, if you'd like, left arm to cactus, and roll back into it. For me, I notice that my right foot really doesn't touch in the same way when I do cactus arm, just because I have less mobility in my shoulder in this version. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Roll back on to your belly. Set up for one more locust pose, or if you'd like, bow pose, Dhanurasana. For either version, we start with the same setup as we would for locust. So chins on the mat to start. And if you're doing just locust, do the same lift of the shoulders, arms, and feet. If you'd like to try bow, bend your back knees. Keep your knees at about hip width distance, even once we lift up, to protect your knees. Reach for your ankles or your outer edges of your feet. I like to flex my feet. That helps protect my knees. Draw your shoulder blades back and down along the back. And with an inhale, press the ankles into the hands or the outer edges of the feet into the hands, and allow that connection of the hands and the feet to lift you any amount. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Let yourself rock like a boat here. Inhale. Exhale. And one more inhale. Exhale, lower. Take your head to your opposite side and windshield wiper your feet to one side and then the other. Press into both hands. Brief child's pose, counter posture to both Shalavasana and Dhanurasana. Extend the arms long, forehead maybe touches the mat. Take a moment here to allow the weight of the head to bring you back into your practice. Connection of the head to block or head to mat. Notice if the mind had wandered about what has occurred in the trip you just had, or it wandered towards what might happen in the trip you have ahead of you. And instead, allow the thoughts to come to the mat, come to the practice and the breath. There always will be time to think about these things later, but doing yoga just gives us a moment and gives us permission to take a break. From child's pose, come to seated. Left leg extends long, right foot draws into the thigh. So I'm at a bit of an angle here. It's not the same as Janu Shirshasana. We're not in that same kind of tree. Slightly open in the hips. So walk your hip slightly back in space. Flex your left foot. Start by taking the forearm into the inside edge of your left leg. If this is where you need to be and just stay here, that's great. You can always take the forearm to a block as well. Right arm sweeps up and over, bicep hugs ear. If you'd like, you can reach the peace fingers of that right hand down to the big toe of the left foot, or you can just reach, feeling that side body stretch. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. With your next inhale, take a moment and take your time coming back up to seated. Other side. Left leg draws in, right leg extends out. Flex your right foot. Move to the other side. Right forearm inside right leg. Left hand can stay and ground the left thigh, or you can sweep your left arm up and over, keeping a broadness in the chest, opening through the front body. Notice the differences on each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, inhale. Exhale. And with your next inhale, slowly, gently, come back up to center. From here, I'll show you from both sides. Doesn't matter if you're facing the long end of your mat or the short. Roll up into Malasana, low squat. So feet on the mat, hip bones, hip points maybe come down to a block or 2 blocks. Use your elbows to prop open your knees, hands heart center. Malasana, low squat. This can feel really, truly delightful after a long car trip, for example, or if you've been sitting in an airplane and feel kind of cramped. Malasana is my always go-to posture post-travel. With your next inhale, straighten your legs, fold forward. Hips, feet can come back under hips for hip width distance. Keep a generous bend in your knees. Inhale, half lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold in. Maybe peace fingers take big toes. Head is heavy, gaze between the legs, and maybe shake your head no and yes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Use the peace fingers to maybe draw yourself in further into the forward fold. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your feet back out. Toes out. Hips sink. Malasana. Notice any cracking or popping joints. As long as this isn't accompanied by knee pain, that's fine. As I've said in a number of my videos, we never stretch our knee joints. If you feel pain in the knee, it doesn't mean you're stretching it. It's not good, and you should back out of whatever posture it is and try an alternate one. But that's how we lead to injury, is we ignore the pain signals that our body's sending. One more forward fold. Straighten your legs. Hips, feet under hips. Hip width distance. You can do the same peace fingers around big toes, or if you'd like, take the hands under the feet for Padahastasana. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lengthen, fold in. Another alternate here would be hands clasped behind the back,
for a little shoulder stretch here. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulders away from ears. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your hip points any amount. Inhale. Exhale. Whatever version you've chosen, gently release the hands and lower down onto the mat, coming into seated. So your version may be crisscross applesauce, maybe just back on the heels. Hands heart center, touch in. Maybe allow your eyes to close. Notice the quality of the mind and the thoughts. Do you feel any more prepared or ready to take on this travel adventure, or any more relaxed after maybe a long day of travel? When you're ready, press hands into third eye. Inhale. Exhale, bow in. Namaste. Thanks for joining, everyone. Like and subscribe in the section below. We'd love to see you join more of my videos. I've linked a couple other options if you'd like to do more movement after your yoga for travel flow. Thanks so much.